Sometimes judges and clerks make mistakes, and sometimes these mistakes can show up as seriously flawed rulings and orders. If this occurs within your case, you have a right to motion for reconsideration. In federal court, where my case is, I filed it under Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 60, which is a request for relief from that ruling or that judgment. Now, let me be clear, it's not an easy path because judges don't particularly like to look back at their decisions and reconsider them. But you do have the right to ask if it's an egregious decision or it's obviously wrong. Knowing that that judge will not be thrilled with you requesting them to reconsider their judgment, it's important to know the times when it is appropriate to make this motion. So let's take a look at legitimate reasons to request a motion. Number 1, a mistake. 2, there's newly discovered evidence. Now, this can happen if your opposing party is withholding evidence and you receive it by independent means. 3, fraud. If the attorney is engaged in deceit and a cover-up with his client, that is fraud. 4 and 5, if the judgment is void, unsatisfied, released, or discharged. And 6, any other reason justifying relief. Now, you're going to have to tread carefully with this one. Timing is very important. With Rule 60, they state a reasonable time, but that time is limited to just 1 year for the mistake, the fraud, or the newly discovered evidence. Now, a judge is not infallible. They do make mistakes with pro ses as well as attorneys. It's just that the attorneys are more likely to challenge that judge's mistake, and you should too. The sooner, the better. If something is hurting your case, you shouldn't feel timid. I've gotten over being intimidated by judges. I filed a motion for reconsideration. The opposing counsel, they opposed it, but my motion was successful. This is why it's so important to research, understand, and use these same laws for your benefit.